Coming to get you, Bobber.
Hi guys, my name's Barry and welcome back to my Evil Dead movie reviews. Today we're going to be looking at Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn. Just like my review for The Evil Dead, this one might sound a little controversial to begin with, but please bear with me as we get into the review. You might go, okay, that's fine, and I'm explaining things the way I give reasons basically for what I'm saying. So the first thing I want to mention is the storytelling standpoint for this one was a little bit of a mess, and it was a little bit confusing as well. Now, before I rewatched it for this review, I didn't watch it for a couple of years, I already remembered that Evil Dead 2, to me, felt like a remake of The Evil Dead from 1981. And when I watched it again, that's exactly what it felt like. Even after the first 5 minutes or so, which is definitely like a redo, then the next part of the movie just felt like another remake of the first movie. Now you have to remember, The Evil Dead from 1981 was essentially a remake of Within the Woods from 1978, directed by Sam Raimi. So this is almost like the second remake already in the franchise for the Evil Dead movies, and we're only officially into the second movie. So already I'm thinking to myself, where is this franchise going to go? Because they're retelling the exact same story again and again. And at first I would think to myself, maybe they're trying to just give us a recap of what happened in the first movie, but that's not what they've done. They just basically redone some of the things that happened in the first movie, but done it better. And I'll be honest, they've done it a lot better than what they did in the first movie. But from the first movie, the way the first movie ended with the camera coming straight towards Ash at the very end of the movie, they could have just kind of started Evil Dead 2 from there instead of going the way they did. Now I know that Sam Raimi got a bigger budget again, just like he did. He went from Within the Woods to The Evil Dead, made it a bigger budget. Within the Woods made it a lot better, and he's just done the exact same thing with Evil Dead 2. He knew he had a bigger budget, he knew he could make The Evil Dead better, and I did mention that in my review for The Evil Dead. If he had a bigger budget, the movie would have been better, and lo and behold, that's what he done. And I'm not complaining, because The Evil Dead 2 was better than The Evil Dead, had a bigger budget, the practical effects was better, the cinematography, the direction, the acting, everything was 10 times better than what we saw in The Evil Dead. Now some people will like The Evil Dead better than Evil Dead 2, some people would like Evil Dead 2 better than The Evil Dead, but for me, I prefer The Evil Dead 2 purely based on a movie making standpoint. Yes, they're very similar in the story itself, and I'll get to the story in a second, but it just looks aesthetically better. It was your classic 80s horror movie from 1987, so it was in its prime of the 80s horror films for 1987. Now when it comes to the storytelling, like I said, it just felt like a carbon copy or a redo of the original, but I'm sure Sam Raimi watched the original and thought, I could maybe dive into that story of the Book of the Dead a little better, and that's what he'd done with The Evil Dead 2. In this version of Sam Raimi's The Evil Dead, again, they went into that book more. You know, we had the characters who originally owned the cabin, who came back with extra pages from the book. We got that medieval castle that was in it. We got, at the beginning, they mentioned about the book being lost in the 1300s.
In the year 1300 AD, the book disappeared.
And we also got the picture of Ash, or someone that looks like Ash, that was the saviour back in the medieval times. So they already hinted at giving us a sequel to Evil Dead 2. We just didn't know that it was going to take 5 years for Army of Darkness to come out. I'll go into Army of Darkness more, but you will notice that in Army of Darkness, they kind of do what they did with this movie. They reshot or redone the first minute or two of Army of Darkness just to make it better, which they did improve on, but I'll talk about Army of Darkness next time. But this one, same situation. The first 5 minutes or so was a definite redo, but the rest of the movie, because of that, felt like just a remake of the original. When you rewatch the movies, you appreciate Sam Raimi more and more every time you watch these movies, especially Evil Dead 2. And when you watch these shots, not just the camera angles and stuff, it seems to me, and I'm pretty sure Edgar Wright must have said this at some point, but it looks like Edgar Wright definitely got his inspiration for his style of filmmaking from Sam Raimi.
down!
Here's the demon doing a really good Hulk Hogan impression. I loved what they'd done with Ash in the film. No, that he wasn't just a one-dimensional character. He was a good guy and he was a bad guy. We had that evil Ash, which was fantastic. He was really scary. It really showed Bruce Campbell's range as well, because at times he had to act on his own, and it was almost like a slapstick movie when he was hitting himself. It's hard to do that. As silly as it looks, it's hard to do that as an actor. But not only did he have to do that, he had to be funny, he had to be scary as well when he was evil Ash. So something about Evil Dead 2 reminded me of the Terminator 2 Judgment Day, where you've got Arnold Schwarzenegger, who is now the good guy, and it just felt good and it felt right to do that. And it's the same with this movie with evil Ash. When he became evil, you still loved to watch him because you know who Ash was and he was built up as a character. I'm not saying it's identical to Terminator, but you get the gist of it. Overall, guys, it just felt like a remake of the original, disguised as a sequel, but they improved on everything that the original done. Now, the original was fantastic, of course, but I just think that everything that they've done in this one was just a massive improvement. One of the biggest praises I can give this film as well is it gave us a backstory, it gave us a continuation story as well, knowing that if they were going to do a sequel, which they done, if they're going to do a sequel, then they'll branch out. They won't just keep it in the cabin for the third movie running, they'll explore. And something that they do explore perfectly is the medieval times. Anyway guys, what do you think of Evil Dead 2? Do you think it is just a redo or a remake? What do you think it is? To me, I think it's just a redo, showing what Sam Raimi can do with a bit of money. But leave your comments down below, let me know what you think of that, and also let me know what you think of the movie as well. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.